everybody, it's Melly Starz here, and with our artist of the week, which is Cashis Stone. So, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Very good. So, let's start off with, how did you get into music?
I mean, typical, you know, I decided I wanted to do music when I was like 9 years old. I had cousins, because my background is, I'm Colombian, but then everybody, you know, my cousins are from here, so they were introducing me. The first song I ever heard when I was a kid was Whoop There It Is, and that was like my anthem. And I just fell in love with music, and then I would hear music all the time. And then when I first decided, like, I want to do this as my career, was around the time when 50 first came out, not his album, like the mixtape, The Power of the Dollar. And I don't know, like, all that just inspired me, because like I love, you know, all that hip hop stuff. So I was like, I don't want this as a hobby, I want it to be my career. So I started writing poetry and stuff, and it became into music, and I would record on my phone and show it off in high school and to friends and stuff, because I couldn't afford nothing to record on and actually make music until now. So, you know.
So how then, since you said like you started off on the phone and things like that, so how did you really get where you are now with that you record in studios and things like that?
School. I gotta give it all to my school. I promise you, if it was not for my school right now, I wouldn't be doing none of my music. Because, you know, when I first came into school, they supplied me with everything that was like perfect. This is what I need. If it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't be able to afford it, buy all that stuff, you know. I don't got money like that. So if it wasn't for school, I gotta give a big up to AI. They were the ones that supplied me with the stuff, and it just came all together.
Nice. So where do you draw your inspiration for your music from?
Inspiration mainly is, you know, personal things that happened in my life, whether it was good or bad. I like to stick with one of my mottos. I like to speak my mind like my fans or my therapist, and like things that I can't like usually discuss with, you know, somebody face to face. I'll put it in my music, and then like and I'm not afraid, you know, like if something good happened or if something that bad, whether it was a breakup or, you know, that's one of my biggest inspirations. Just personal things. I like to express myself.
Nice. So since you do express yourself from things that you experience in life and things like that, would you say that you have a specific genre of music that you make, or do you do more of a little bit of everything?
I love to experiment. I consider myself a hip hop artist, but I've worked with like R&B. I don't sing or anything like that, but I've written songs. After my album, I actually plan on doing like different genres, and like even if it doesn't come out the best,
just experiment.
Yeah, I love to experiment with music, because, you know, I don't like to call myself a rapper. I like to call myself an artist, and music is my craft. You know, so like I don't think I should be labeled as just rap.
Yeah.
So I just like to be an artist. You know, I want to do, you know, different stuff, whether it's like, you know, trap step or, you know, R&B or hip hop, rap.
Just whatever, any kind of music, as long as you can get your hands on it.
Whatever inspires me, and whatever I feel like, okay, you know, I can do something with this, and I can put my hands on it and get to work, I'll do it.
So where'd you get your stage name from?
It's funny because you would think Cashis Stone, like maybe Cassius Clay, but it was I work at the arena, and I was just working one day, and I was so bored, and I was battling between names, because I used to go by John Bishop. And I was just battling with him, like I don't know a good name to stick to, and I'm just there. I'm bored one day. I started freestyling, and out of nowhere, I remember the exact line. It goes, oh, the first one to cast a stone gonna end up with a broken bone. That's what you get for messing with Cashis Stone. And it just came out. So I was like, whoa. It's like, okay, I think it just came to me, so I just decided to stick with it.
Nice. It just was inspiration.
Yeah, it just came to me. It was like if it just came to my heart and just came out of my mouth. So I was like, I'm gonna stick with it, because at the moment I was you know, I was battling, you know, like I was going through some stuff, and I felt like I mainly created Cashis Stone as an alter ego, but then I just stuck with it. Yeah,
most people start off with their alter ego as their,
yeah,
and then you just kind of merge your two together.
Yeah, definitely.
So how about you tell me a little bit about some of the work you already have out there?
I have a mixtape out. It's like a compilation mixtape. It's called the First Coming Remixtape, and it's a compilation of all the remixes that I've done from my first song to my most latest remix that I've done, and it's over like, you know, past songs like I Just Want to Party by Yellow Wolf to the most recent, which was the Games of Holy Water, which I think from the mixtape that was my excuse me, my most successful one, because a lot of people like, you know, when you tell stories. And with my music, I like to tell stories, you know. And that was one of my first ones that I ever did. That was like, it was like me letting go with my whole baby mama drama, you know, and stuff. So with our breakup, it was actually, I was talking about it and talking about my whole, you know, my pops not being there. So I let it out on the song, and then people gave me a lot of attention for it, and they actually appreciate it. And I like that people see what I'm trying to do, you know.
Because it's something relatable. Like,
yeah.
I could relate to
to
something like that, like maybe with the daddy issues, as I like to say. You know, so that's really what I see is with audience-wise. Personally, for me, I love when an artist can tell a story through their songs. Yeah. But that's just my personal take. So what are you currently working on right now?
Currently, I'm working on my LP, my album. It's called the Black and White LP, and it started off as a. It started off as pretty much, I called it Black and White because it was pretty much like my story, like on paper, black and white. But then with the whole Cashis Stone thing, I decided to split it, and it's an album where it's two-sided. They have the, you know, black and white, which is the good side, it was like, you know, good joints and stuff, and there's like a darker side to it, where it's more like Cashis Stone. And one of my favorite songs, the first song I ever wrote for it it's called it's a dedication to my daughter. It's called Words to My Firstborn, and it's pretty much like me talking to her, telling her the story about me and her mom, man, telling her how it happened, you know.
So that's always gonna be something for her to look back on.
Yeah, and one of my dreams is actually for her to watch me perform that song, like, to her. But she's 2 now, so
you still got a while for that.
Yeah.
Maybe her sweet 16 or something.
Maybe,
like that.
maybe.
What are you looking forward to doing in the future, such as shows and things like that? Because I know you have an upcoming performance on January 26th, so tell me a little bit about that, and then where else you're going to be performing.
Well, actually, it just passed. It was this weekend ago, but it was great. It was a great experience. Actually, after the album, I plan on doing like a small tour throughout Florida. I was gonna do it like towards Virginia, but then, you know, my people were talking to me, they're like, you should just focus more on your state and then expand. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna just do like along Florida. Hopefully, you know, everything goes good, maybe to like the tip, like Gainesville, Jacksonville, whatever. And
just get the buzz going.
Yeah. You know, do it from my hometown first, and then start spreading out. And after I drop the album, and after I graduate, I want to go to New York to, you know, expand my career as well. You know, because that's where, you know, music started.
Yeah,
so
definitely, New York is the place to be for.
Yeah, like
anything.
J. Cole said, you know, go with $1 and a dream and make it happen. You know.
So in the future, your goal is New York.
Yeah, most def. I've even told my people, like, yo, no matter what happens, do not let me say no and like, oh, no, I'm not gonna go. Like, push me and make me go, because I know that this can be a big step in my career, definitely. A huge step. And, you know, and it's all, you know, trial and error. You know, if I go on and nothing happens, then hey, I come back and I just continue doing here. But
learning,
you know,
experience.
Exactly.
Everything's a learning experience.
Exactly.
Is there any specific people that you want to work with, maybe now or in the future? Maybe somebody famous that you're like really like, I need to work with them when I make it big. Like, one
of my biggest, one of the rappers I used to look up to was Pimp C, but, you know, he passed away now. Obviously, I can't make a song with him, but, you know, a lot of people compare my flow to like T.I., so I like to work with T.I. Recently, I just did a song with Maiden Hanson. Shout out to Maiden Hanson and Jizak, who was at the show. So I'm trying to, you know, make a couple projects with them. He's a great artist and very talented. There's actually a lot of people out there who are very talented, you know, who haven't been exposed, like my man, you know, Prince Hakeem. And, you know, I'm just, you know, when you start at the bottom, you just take anybody, you know, you just work with anybody. But I'm the type of person, like, if I don't like you, I don't like to be fake around people. So like, I won't come to you, but if you come to me, I'll work with you. Mm-hmm. But like, definitely most probably Maiden Hanson working on something, and just right now.
So before we go, how about you let everybody know how they can contact you and get a hold of some of your music and whatnot?
You can go ahead check out my Twitter. It's kind of complicated. It's at I_VM_certified. So it's technically I am certified. You can check out my website. It's long, but you can just Google me on Cashis Stone. Got a whole page to myself. You can check out my YouTube page, Macadocious69, and check me out. You know, for the people, you know, if whoever, you know, has heard my music and supports me, I salute you and I thank you. If you haven't heard my music, I won't disappoint you. Trust me.
Definitely, most definitely. So now, as always, Cashis is gonna spit some rhymes for us.
Gotta watch with this rap shit. Did it get to your head to have you screaming fuck the police when you scared of the feds? Had me feeling like a bull seeing nothing but red. Couple shots to the heart, can't breathe, now he dead. Better recognize true history in the making. Not here for any lone straight coming for the taking. The world is mine and your nerves to have you shaking. Take me out, so what? I have young legend in the making. So no matter what, my legacy's still going. Like the sun when it ain't around, it doesn't mean it stops glowing. Come up black erected, flowing like a oil spill. Coming up unexpected, adjacent competitions I kill. Do you understand the help to follow that? Super fragilistic, expialidocious, Rome mentality, never getting fades. Father figure one around, didn't know how to be raised. Say goodnight, boo boo, it's past your curfew. You don't want your mama crying with just a picture to remember you. She called me up, later up on the phone, asking me where he at. T.I. said he dead and gone.
Well, thank you for coming on our show and letting me interview. Is there anything you want to let the fans know or anything you want to say before you go?
Before I go, I just want to say Certified Entertainment and Black and White LP June 16th. Cashis Stone, Google me, baby. Check me out. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Real rap. Shout out to Melly Starz, Prince Hakeem for having me. Peace.
Before we get to that, let me tell you how it started. Me and your mother were in school trying to get good grades. We rarely even spoke, but we both felt each other. Never came to speak until we came into the summer. Your mom made the first move, didn't let it go to waste. Leaving back and forth comments on each other's MySpace. We started talking, hanging, I knew it was meant to be. It's hard to find a good girl like I was luckily. We both had 2 months to learn about each other, had to get accustomed to the lifestyles of one another. But things are kinda tough, the past kept catching up, and lies and hidden revelations kinda messed us up. We still got past and we fell in the days. Love is complicated.